Welcome to day 127. This is the 127th video I've done. They're all online at YouTube. Just go to Tom Pace Mentor and you can see a complete list of all the videos that I've done in the past. Today I want to talk about this book, and I want to talk about a system that came from this book. This book is called A Complaint-Free World. Can you imagine living in a society or working at a company where we don't complain about anything? And can you imagine if at that same company or organization or in your home life, your family, that we don't gossip about anybody? A gentleman named Will Bowen in Kansas City, Missouri, wrote this book, A Complaint-Free World. Now, gossip harms other people. Complaining bores other people. And he's got two other things that he talks about in this book. 4 things to stop doing to have a better quality life. This Thursday, I get an opportunity to go speak at a university about ethics. Can you imagine me talking about ethics? I started thinking about the opportunity and what am I going to say to these college students about ethics? One of the things that I want to say is we got to work on our character if we're going to be ethical. One of the greatest things that I've learned about ethics and about character is not to complain. Not to complain about the weather, not to complain about the traffic, not to complain about the government, not to complain about my wife, my kids, my health. There are so many things that we complain about, and now I've made a commitment not to complain. I call it the 3-point commitment. 3 things I'm going to stop doing. Number 1 is I'm not going to complain. A complaint is when I share verbally out loud to someone else about something that I don't like. I could say, I don't like this television show. That's a complaint. Why do I need to tell you I don't like this television show? Or if I tell you, I don't like eating at this restaurant. I don't need to tell you that. A friend of mine, I asked him one time, I said, what do you think about this certain restaurant in Oklahoma City? And he said, a great answer. He said, it's not one of my favorites. He didn't have to down them. He didn't have to talk about bad service or anything. He just said, it's not one of my favorites. We ask people their opinions on a lot of things, and a lot of times they give us a complaint. So I don't want to complain about anything, and I don't want to gossip to anybody. And the third thing in the 3-point commitment is I don't use profanity. I used to use profanity a lot, and I believe that profanity is the language of the hurt. And I don't hurt the way I used to, so I don't need to cuss. No one has ever been offended by me not cussing. I have definitely offended some people in the past by cussing. One time I had an employee come in and I needed to let this employee find an opportunity to work somewhere else. I needed to fire him. And it was a very emotional decision on my part because I really wanted this person to succeed, but they came to work and when they got to the office, they quit working. And so I needed them to function, I needed them to do a job, but they didn't want to do it. They really needed to work somewhere else. So as we started discussing the fact that maybe they need to find employment somewhere else, there was a lot of blame that was put back on me why they weren't working. Their excuses, and they were telling me why they weren't working, and I lost my temper with them, and I dropped the F-bomb. All the stuff we were talking about boiled down to when they went to talk to their coworkers and their friends is that I cussed them out, that I cussed this person out. And I only dropped the F-bomb a couple of times in probably an hour-long discussion about an opportunity somewhere else, about why they probably didn't need to continue to work at our company. So, cussing is the language of hurt. Gossip is, that's like comparing myself to someone else, making me look superior, making me feel better about me. If you want to have the tallest building in the city, you can go and tear everybody else's buildings down and you could end up with the tallest building. Or you could really focus on building the tallest building and be inspired by other buildings that are tall and want to build a building taller than that, but being inspired. So I don't complain, I don't gossip, and I don't cuss. Now, I wear, this is a really important part of the system, I wear this little bracelet, wristband. I put it on my right wrist first thing in the morning, and it stays on this wrist as long as I don't complain, gossip, or cuss. If I complain, gossip, or cuss, I simply take it off of this wrist and put it on this wrist. And I start over. Today I am on day 4. I have not complained, gossip, or cussed. This month I have gone 3 different times where I've gone at least 3 days in a row without complaining, gossip, or cussing. This builds character. When I want to complain, or I want to gossip, or I want to cuss, consciously I become aware of that and I make a decision not to do it. And this stays on my wrist. Try it for 3 days. Try to go 3 days without complaining, gossip, or cussing. At our company, if you do that, if you at Pacebutler, you go 3 days without complaining, gossip, or cussing, we're going to reward you with a $20 bill. And we're also going to put your name in a drawing to win $500. And we give away $500 every month to one employee that has gone at least 3 days without complaining, gossip, or cussing. And some people say, well, how do you know they didn't complain, gossip, or cuss? We're talking about 24 hours a day, not just at work. I said, I don't know it, but I can tell you that a person that is really committed to making this happen is working on their character, is working on their integrity. Are you willing to try this for 3 days? You don't have to have one of our bands. You can use a rubber band. You can use another wristband. I mean, these are all different colors. This one on here has a website, www.3pointcommitment.org. You can go on there and sign up that you're doing the commitment, you're trying to do the commitment. We don't keep that website up as much as we should. But you don't have to use this wristband. You can use a rubber band. You can use whatever you want. Let's work on our character. Let's try not to complain, gossip, or cuss. Let's try to make a difference in somebody else's world by encouraging them to make a positive difference in their life. Thank you very much for watching.